Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Wallace Morris, and we have a special video today. The Flash is out now in theater, so if you haven't seen it, you go see it right now. Go get your ticket, put your cosplay suit, your Flash suit, anyone related to the DC universe. So when we speak about a DC movie or a DC anti-hero, we got our special friend, my special friend. He's the main man. He's the Black Adam, Eric the Smoke Moran.
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. Hey, by the way, it's been a while. I'm happy for you. Everything's going amazing. Cosplay is rising for you, bro. I'm glad to see you again.
Well, it's rising for both of us. If you want to get real, it's rising for both of us. I mean, someone gets a chance to hang out, for better or for worse. You get the chance to hang out with directors and all that stuff. I mean, me, yeah, I've done my share of just hanging out with them, but it was your time. It was your time to shine. And so I'm going to cut right into. Let's cut right into it. Before we even get started to announce who our special guest is, I got to ask you, because the audience wants to know, how was your experience on that red carpet?
That was amazing. Honestly, I never been treated like that from Warner Brothers. Honestly, Warner Brothers Canada, thank you. They treated me so well. I felt like I deserve it after all these years working on cosplays and on Flash costume, especially. That was like giving back to what I gave them. So it was amazing. I met the director and also the producer, Barbara and Andy Machete. They're very, very nice people. I'm surprised. How tall are you, Smoke?
I am 6'2", 6'3".
Okay, so we're actually the same height.
Right.
Andy is 6'5", so he's taller than me.
He's
so
like Ben Affleck's height.
Oh yeah. And I had to raise my head just to speak to him. So I'm like, oh wow, I'm not the tallest guy in the room. So
because Dwayne was just as tall. Dwayne is like the same height as him.
A little bit less, 6'4". So
Dwayne is 6'5".
Yeah. He didn't look like 6'5".
Honestly. Dwayne is, trust me, Dwayne is 6'5".
Oh yeah, maybe, but
yeah.
I think it's because Andy was more linear. So the thing is, The Rock was more muscly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I mean, when I met Affleck, when he did Batman v Superman in New York, when I met him, I was surprised how tall he was. I didn't realize how tall Affleck was. So just to see you, because I looked at it, I was like, well, Machete looks kind of like he's up
tall.
there.
Oh yeah.
Right, okay.
So I was the only cosplayer getting into the room with something from the movie. I know that some of the other cosplayers had morph suit about Supergirl and Batman, but about the Flash, I was the only one repping it for real. So that was something I really loved, and he noticed every details on my suit. That's what's crazy.
You stood out. Like, even when I was looking at the photo ops with you and the other cosplayers, this yours and I'm not saying it because you're my buddy. I'm saying it because your costume just popped out. It just popped. You had to run for your money. If my boy, our little buddy in cosplay, Logan was there, Logan might have gave you a little run for your money because Logan's hitting the red carpet like crazy too.
You know what I love about Logan is we were 10 years ago starting cosplay, and he has all the tools, and also he's passionate. His father also is passionate, and I don't mind having another Flash. The multiverse is big, so why don't we have him with me?
That would have been dope. That would have been dope to have you both there together.
And what I love is he actually did the upgrades of the helmet before the premiere in Los Angeles. So, shout out to him.
I wish we all had a dad like Logan's dad. His dad has been knocking out the ballpark, man. And Logan is such a great kid, man. Like, it's good to see. I root for him every time, man. And I reached out to his dad a couple times and like, I said, Logan is killing it, man. And I mean, the fact that he got a chance to not only meet the cast, he got a chance to talk with Ezra. He got a chance to get everyone to sign his helmet and all, which I thought was great. I thought,
and I think he's the very example of a kid who has dreams and they can come true. So
Right.
every kid who wants to meet any actors, actress, anyone, they can do it. They can do it. And
Yeah.
to be honest, this guy Logan, he has been featured twice on my Flash cosplay Instagram page. So he's doing really great. So congrats to him. Yeah, no.
And I mean, the other shout I got to give, this is not DC related, meeting Peter Cullen from Transformers as Optimus Prime, meeting him as Optimus Prime. So he was tripping about it, you know,
For
right
real?
before I went to go see Transformers. So getting the opportunity. So we both had our little moments.
I saw
in the last
that.
2
I
weeks.
saw that. I hope he did the voice for you.
Oh, he did. Oh, he did.
Okay.
He was more taken back to me in costume, me in the whole suit, signing the helmet and all. Everyone that was there for the signing, because he was here in Philly, everyone that was in line was like, Smoke, you got to get in front. And here I'm at 9 feet tall as Optimus Prime, and I was getting pictures like nonstop. So it was crazy. Michael Rosenbaum, who plays Lex Luthor, Smallville, he like saw me in the crowd. He was like, "Oh my God, dude, you look awesome." I'm like, "Mike, what's up?" So like I said, it was for us for the last 2 weekends. We've had busy weekends. So
Busy
enough
weekend,
about
yeah.
what's going on with us. We're going to get back to that in a minute. Let's talk about who our special guest is.
So our special guest, I actually follow him on Instagram because I think as a cosplayer, he is impressive. And you know, we've spoken about that about being a cosplayer, but not having muscle suit, being
Right.
repping cosplay with your own body, because this is something that is really hard. You cannot be, I would say, a Superman or Black Adam and having that muscle suit on you because you don't feel that you accomplished something. And that guy, honestly, I don't know how tall he is. I don't know how big he is, but I know he got real muscles. So he did a lot of Marvel. He did a lot of DC, Black Lightning, Aquaman. I would say Aqualad also. He did the Flash, all men Flash. So let me introduce you, T'Challa Monger. How's it going, bro?
Man, it's great, man. I'm still starstruck here. So, you know, I've been following both of you guys for some time now. You know, amazing cosplays. I call folks cosplayations. And so you guys have been cosplayations for me, you know, watching you guys in the game and just, you know, and Wallace, you know, I always comment on your Flash, you know, for me, you know, it's the representation of having a Black Flash, you know, and I'm not talking about, you know, the Wally or Wallace West Flash, you know, I'm talking about Black Flash, man. That's just amazing to me. And so, you know, I always give kudos. And then you got me on here with Smoke, and it's like, what? Come on, man. Black Adam? Oh my God! Like, you know, all of the detail to all of the suits and just the persona. You know, I think, you know, the character, you know, that you guys kind of play and it exudes through the work that you guys do. And so, and I'm just excited to be in the room with you guys. And so, I'm still starstruck. Oh, man.
Well, thank you. So, yo, I would say the same for you. You, how long you've been cosplaying?
Well, so the way that I would tell the story is in 2018 when we had the first Black Panther. I was joking with friends. Everybody was talking about how they were going to show up in their African garb and attire. I said, man, I'm going as T'Challa. I'm going as the King of Wakanda. You know, and I was just joking. I had a mask and some gloves, you know, and I had T-shirts because I've got a ton of superhero T-shirts. And so, you know, I kind of wore that out to the premiere, took a couple of pictures. It was kind of cool. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. And I think that kind of broke the ice for me because I think one of the unique challenges of moving into cosplay or engaging in cosplay is getting through that initial kind of oh wow, I'm really stepping out here and I'm doing this in front of people, and being excited about it, and not being concerned about how people might perceive or think about you, as you're
Hmm.
donning your costumes, and you're engaging people, and you're in the character of that cosplay that you're wearing. And so officially, I would say 2018, and then I went to my first con, and that was my last con because preceding or following that was the pandemic, and so I hadn't gone out. But my first con was Dragon Con, and I got
Oh.
to meet some fabulous, amazing cosplayers, and I think that it was one of the first times in a very long time being in a community or being around a community that was welcoming. The energy was positive. Everybody, no matter what race or ethnicity, or background, gender identity, I mean, all across it was just a very cool experience to have. So I said, you know what, I might try this a little bit more. And the bug had bit me. And so I've been doing it since 2019. Got to get back to another con pretty soon, but just really enjoying the art of it. And for me, as I was telling you, Wallace, it just kind of helps me to kind of separate everyday real life. And not that cosplay isn't real life, because there's a lot of analogies of real life to cosplay, and just watching a cosplay community. I'm
Hmm.
learning and have been learning what it's like within the community that mirrors some of the things that we experience in everyday real life. But it's become a source of relaxation. It's a cool hobby to have. It's great to enjoy, and just enjoying everybody engaging in the art of it. So,
Wow, wow, that is a nice way to explain how you can start cosplay, and then you started before the pandemic, so you had a long break before. If do I still do cosplay, or do I just move forward, and then you do something else? But by what I've seen on your page, you went hard. You went hard, bro, because it's not one. You got many variation of Black Panther. You got some great Marvel persona, DC, same thing. Um, what's the process to choosing a character from any universe?
that's a great question. I think that the characters tend to speak to me. At a certain period of time. It is something about maybe what's happening globally or what's happening locally or nationally. That character may kind of stand out to me. It had become characters around, maybe holidays or maybe previews of, new movies, or
Hmm.
someone that I was just always interested in, someone who I always enjoyed the character, or I enjoyed the storyline. I enjoyed the development of the character, or some of the commonalities of that character and their personality styles, that may mirror some of the personality that I have. And
Hmm.
so, ergo T'Challa monger, I'm T'Challa, but I'm also Killmonger. I've got a
Like you're
good
mixing both together, yeah.
blend of them. While T'Challa has um, the charismatic and caring, and the leadership, and the desire for all to be taken care of, specifically Wakanda. But as we know, he begins to branch out, and then there's Killmonger, who's like, no, nah, bruh, there's some things going on, that needs to be addressed.
Like
Um,
your last post, the one I saw, who say, "Hey, Hunty," I love this one, by the way. I love this one. Honestly, he has that flavor. I know that he's not, it's not necessarily the villain, but there's a purpose behind that. And then when
right.
you had that shot, "Hey, Hunty," I'm like, oh my god, He's looking for something. He's gonna make some changing, not troubles, but it's so cool. So that's why I spoke to you about something very, very special. But yeah, man, you got the right personnel. You got the right. I would say you show that you can be both. That's what I want to say. You can be both. Smoke, do you have any question for our guest?
Yes, I'd like to know what inspired you to start cosplay.
Well, it was really interesting. I had always had this interest, in cosplay, but I have to be honest, and say that, it was anxiety provoking, and I think that, just watching and being privy to it through the social media platform, Instagram, and seeing people and saying, oh, wow, oh, you do that. Oh, you do that. And you do that too. Oh, there's more African-American folks who are doing that. There's some Latino brothers and sisters who are doing that. This is not just our white brothers and sisters who are doing it. A lot of people are engaged in this. And then you start running across, like a Yugo and Cosplayer or a Cosplay Shinobi or, Cosplay Royalty. You see these folks and you're like, oh, wow, it's pretty cool, and I think that as I was contemplating, I was asking questions to people, just shooting some random DMs about it. And man, the community was just so welcoming and engaging and so helpful. And I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. I was inviting, and I thought to myself, well, this is a community that I can engage with and be a part of, outside of the regular everyday life that I live and all the other things that I do professionally that, on most days I'm very serious. I'm very dialed into, caring for others and taking care of others. And this is an opportunity for me to take care of me. So cosplay became analogous to self-care. And, there's a pure enjoyment of trying to put together a character, and try to bring a character to life, and have fun with it, and really enjoy the process of learning a little bit more about the character. These are characters that I've read, since I was little, re-engaging, the comics, and really enjoying that. And so that's been a part of the process, Smoke.
All right. Smoke, you have another question? Because I have one.
So for me, what is the one cosplay a dream cosplay you want to do, and what has been the most challenging cosplay you've done so far?
Oh wow, that's a great question. And so a dream cosplay, and I really enjoy Black Panther. And I my favorite all-time superhero has always been Superman. But I don't know what's a dream cosplay. It would be one that I would have to really get into the development and the creation, of it. Maybe developing some armor skills, developing some armor. I don't know. I have to really think about that. There's just so many different characters, that you could potentially do. I always have this kind of, vision about a character, and so when I see the character, it's like, oh, that's someone I want to do. Like I would like to do a Batwing cosplay. I would like to do, an armored Batwing cosplay.
Oh wow, okay. Okay, that would be not only a first, because like you said, Afro-American cosplayer, we are a lot, but choosing typically one character like Batwing, you won't see it coming soon.
Yeah.
But you think about it, and then this is interesting because we know that it might come, and then you might start and give the idea to other cosplayers. So that's something we really love about it.
Yeah. I really like that character. I've been thinking about jumping into the video games. I've seen Mortal Kombat, the Sub-Zeros and the Scorpions, and just trying to figure out, which one of those would be cool. I've played with the Ken cosplay, based upon, I think, what is his name now? He changed his name to Diego. I can't remember his name.
What was
But
it,
he's
cosplay?
It was an AI artist who did AI of an African American or a black kid. And I saw that and I was like, oh wow, I've got to try that, And so that was pretty cool to do. So I've been thinking about, venturing out of DC and Marvel. I've also thought about doing some non-traditional folks, like was one of the ones that I wanted to do. There's actually a hero, and I can't remember. I think it was Dark Horse Comics called Dreadlocks.
You want to do dreadlocks?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing him, one of his costumes. That's something that's not done, and it gives the opportunity for representation of comics that we don't see a whole lot of people doing cosplay of those comics. And so, considering how to bring those to life, or even some of the, Black authors of comics, who are doing some really tangible work that we might not get into too much because we, kind of steered towards Marvel and we steered towards DC. So just kind of thinking about some of those artists as well.
Like one of the characters I love doing, and this is early on, my wife and I both we did Icon and Rocket. And for Milestone. So for me, when I was doing Icon, like before, it was funny because I only knew one other cat that did Icon, and they were doing it when they were first putting out Milestone back in the day. Then I was like, okay, I ended up doing it, and then 3 other cosplayers followed suit. And then the most current one that I know, and my wife did Rocky because we in the height one, and I did the Young Justice version. So we did the Young Justice version. So, and then the fact that other people followed the trend and everything. The person I know that's done it recently, my boy Hellspawn cosplay.
Hellspawn, yeah.
Yeah, he did it with his son. He had his son. Yeah, that's my prime. Yeah, he had it with his son and stuff. So, I mean, I'm like you on that. I like doing characters that, even though I do everything and I've done all types of characters, but I like doing characters that are also black people. I also did like Mantis. Those rare, like deep cut, like characters that was on. A lot of people don't realize, like, how
is that 1980s?
Like that was 90s, early 90s.
Early 90s?
Yeah,
like late 89, 90.
Yeah,
I remember Mantis. Yeah,
and it was like Carol, like you. I like going to deep cut. Like I love your black light.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah, and I mean, after meeting Crest, and I was dressed as Black Lightning, meeting Crest, on my wall is a picture of me and the cast of Black Lightning, me and my wife. And I mean, I hosted to them, so to be able to like Luke Cage, see, this is the era right now where we can celebrate not just comic books, but people of color in comics that are now translating onto the big screen.
Yes, sir.
Blade. I remember Blade set the trend for others to follow.
Everyone.
Not just on superhero front, but for people of color.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because it works. Even deep cuts like Meteor Man. I know somebody who recently did Meteor Man, and I don't forget that Meteor Man technically was a Marvel.
Technically, he was a Marvel comic.
Yeah. Marvel comic. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I love the fact that you want to go into deep cuts where you're like, look, like those independent comic titles that, hey, because I notice when I've done characters like that people don't know, or characters I grew up on in the 70s, 80s, and people are like, oh crap. For the people that really know, they'll be like, oh, I see what you did. So I love hearing that.
Yeah.
So that's inspiring. So since your volume of cosplays have been growing, what has been the one challenge cosplay that you did, whether it was a personal or whether it was just putting the costume together? What was that one challenge cosplay that you have, and that now to this day you always revere it? What is that one cosplay that you have?
Oh wow, a challenge cosplay.
Or one that gave you a lot of, like the one cosplay that was a challenge for you, but you pulled it off.
All of them have their unique challenges. I think because when I try to do it, I try to embody that character, and I try to kind of bring that character to life. Maybe one that I have done but I haven't put out. Because I don't know how. I don't know if I, I put all the pieces to it. Maybe it was my Punisher Noir.
Okay.
I don't know if I like the way that came out. The pieces weren't hard to put together, but I think it was hard for me to emulate that character. And maybe
By
that's
now, would you be able to do it again and then know what was wrong and then switch it to be much?
I think it has to be a little bit darker. It wasn't dark enough to kind of mimic the kind of Frank Castle, that I think that character should look like. It was more comical, more I don't know the language I want to use for, but it didn't do what I had hoped it would do.
Okay.
And we are all our own worst critics about our own work and what we put together. I think that would be it, because that's one that I haven't kind of posted or put out. I've kind of sprinkled it a little bit here and there, but the overall concept of it, I haven't put it out there yet, because I don't think I emulated the character well enough.
Okay. I see that. But most of them, I can feel it by looking at your page, especially Aquaman. We see yo, this is Aquaman I'm watching. This is Aquaman I'm looking. I won't mess with the king. So, yeah. So my question is, you are working out, and most of your cosplay, there's no padding, there's no muscle suit. Is there something in your mind that you told yourself that, oh, you know what? If I have to embody that cosplay or that character, there will be no cosplay with muscle suit? Because Smoke and I, we are like you. We work hard. We work really hard to look and not use any foam suit muscles. No, so and then you have
look. Can I be transparent?
Yeah.
There is one thing I want to make sure, so all cosplayers can hear this. They need to understand this. You can try to be in the best shape you can be, but not all people can do that. So the one thing I say is, if you got a muscle suit, I'm not going to knock you wearing a muscle suit. I have muscle suits, and I'm the first one to say it. But I also know how to, when I got to get in shape. I know, as a former pro wrestler, as a former Marine, I know what it takes. But there is those times where you just can't, do, and it's, so it has to be said, because I don't want people to feel that they have to be discouraged because they look at us, and you don't want, as someone who's a veteran cosplayer who's been doing this since the 80s, I'll tell you straight up. The one thing that I make it a point, and it's very important for people to understand that when you cosplay at any size. If it draws you to take better care of yourself, where you want to go in the gym to train and all that stuff. For people like us that see us and all, like, because again, no matter how good of a costume you wear, you're not going to make everyone happy. They're going to be the keyboard warriors are going to make sly comments, whether it's the color of our skin, whether it's our size, no matter how good we work out in the gym, or how much we don't work out in the gym, how good our costume is, or how they'll find flaws. So the one thing I've learned is, don't get discouraged if you can't go to the gym or you can't afford to go to the gym. Like you said, there are people like us that, hey, what is the best way to eat the right foods? So that's important. But if you have a muscle suit and you're not in the best shape, hey, there's nothing wrong. That's why they made more of the costumes now with muscle tone on them. So when you're putting on the costume, they have look, I was doing costumes when they had no muscle tone, when there was no sub dye. So it was just straight, like you went off. You went off of what you had and all. And some of us either, and the one thing I told in prior conversations, spandex tells the truth. It's very truthful, very honest. So the one thing I try to make sure we get across is to anyone out there that's cosplaying, you can cosplay at whatever size. It's like you said earlier to Child. It's about your attitude and how you come across and what you bring to that character. I've known plus size, both male and female cosplayers that are on top of their game, and people love them because they embrace their size. So for me, I'm like that person that's on the fence. Sometimes I can get real tight and be like Arnold, and other times, like Jason Momoa said, I don't like lifting weights, but I'll go in the gym if I gotta do a movie. I'm gonna work out, but I don't like. He's like, I'd rather drink a beer and sit on the couch and do a little bit of riding a bike. So my thing is, unless I'm doing a movie, which I have done my movies, I did my superhero movies, and even then, I'm like sometimes. So I had to say that, Val, Vlad, because I had to cut it in there because I'm like, we want to make sure that people understand that you can cosplay at any size you want. This is long as you're having fun.
I appreciate that comment. I appreciate that comment, Smoke. And I think one of the groups that I follow, Cosplay Your Way. I think that's one of the central messages is that you can do it your way, no matter who you are, what kind of size you are. All of that doesn't matter. I think it is about really emulating the character, and just bringing that character to life, your way. And so, I can appreciate what you're saying, because the reality is that, you can't get in the gym, all the time. You can't, maintain, the kind of dieting or the kind of meal planning and prepping and eating that's necessary to be, tight like The Rock, especially when you have lives, you live, you have jobs, you have families, that's not feasible, it's not feasible.
So for you, being in shape, going to the gym, what was it because of Costco, or just because you're someone who wants to take care of your health?
Right.
Because this is something that actually gives you I would say an extra, a plus for some of your costume, because not every character that you do are buff. So is it something that you just use as an extra, or that anything you will do will be going to the gym, being in shape, and then repping it?
Yeah, and so I'm a gym head. I'm in the gym maybe 3-4 times out of the week. I've been a gym head for such a very long time, so it's a normal practice for me. I have fluctuated and I have changed in terms of weight and size, and I'm at that really fun stage, in my late 40s, where my body is starting to do some things around the midsection, and it's not.
Speak on it, man. Speak on it.
It's very difficult to, get that off, and so, but I do my best to, stay in best shape I can. I can't lie and say that I'm eating, a great diet. Now, like you, Smoke, I do know what to do when it's time to do what it's time to do, you know, and the question becomes, will I discipline myself enough to eat appropriately to get to the kind of size or the shape that I want to be when I am engaging in cosplay? And so the cosplay is just kind of like an added piece, right? And so if let's say, for example, if I am going to do a character like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a character who has a very decent shape. All of them are drawn, super muscular anyway. But maybe, less super muscular, less cut, less tight, I think that
Well,
that's
your Batwing is a good example without the armor.
without the armor. Yeah, and so just a very straightforward, clean. Look, I was thinking about since we just had the Spider Verse, and the one character in there that resonates with me personality. Well, I resonate with all of them, but the one character that resonates with me, from a professional perspective, is the Spider Therapist. The scene where the Spider Therapist is standing. So, there's I can't remember the line, but everybody come busting through the wall. And so just throwing on the Spider.
He said, what happened? So he said, what happened? He's like, if my Uncle Ben died. And he's like,
right.
Tell me more. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I would do something like that where you don't have to kind of be buff or all of that stuff.
Well, what I like about like this past year, when me and Hellspawn were challenging each other. Well, he's challenging me as Hawkman. I'm challenging him as Black Adam. We're hitting the gym hard. I was, being in this spot.
Hey, y'all look so good too.
But what is so cool about it is the fact that when you can get a group of guys or a group of cosplayers together, and you're aiming for a goal, whether it be for a major photo shoot like Dragon Con, or you're aiming for something for a movie premiere, that's where my mental state, that's when I'm like, okay, I have a goal. I have something to look forward to. I have something that I want to do. There's an upcoming thing that we're doing, me and Hellspawn, later in the year, and it's like, okay, I gotta get back into the gym because now I gotta start talking my crap. We gotta start. But it's fun. It's a challenge. We're challenging each other. So I think that's another dynamic that, for me, it's great because it motivates me. Because I'm a little bit older. Like, I'm a little bit older than you. So when you said about muscle recognition and body trying to get, and like, I had to be reminded, I'm not my 30s, so when I'm in the gym, my routine has to change up. And it has to change. Because your body is like, you're finding, like you said, you find all these aches, like, where the snap, like, oh, and you didn't know, that you have aches that you never had before.
That's
again,
right.
Again, man, it's truth. That's why I said, you speak the truth. Speak on it. But I love the fact that when you can get together with other cosplayers, the camaraderie of challenging each other to want to motivate each other, whether it's like where you might know the proper eating regimen, but I might know something where, okay, you could do a regimen where you hit the gym, hit these machines right here, do this in a certain amount of time, and then challenge yourself. Or, hey man, we hit 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. We challenge each other, see how far we push it. And I like doing that with Hellspawn. I like doing that with other cosplayers and all. And then there's a recent cosplayer that I've known for years, young cat, but he was at one point, he was heavyweight like me, and then, man, he did a turnaround looking like Craven the Hunter himself, all chilled out and all. And I'm like, dude, that was motivation. Even though he was much younger, he's not incredibly younger than me, but he's young in my view. And I'm like, dude, I love seeing that kind of stuff. It is inspiring. Because now I'm like, well, okay, get out and stop doing this and all. So, but no, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to hear that. So what I want to know is, who are some of the cosplayers that you would love? And I mean, like, who would you want to collaborate with that would inspire you to want to collaborate with, like to do a major photo op with? Besides my boy Vlad.
Man,
y'all know Vlad. Vlad is a fan.
And I mean, I will share, man, when the first kind of true interaction or engagement with cosplayers in a mass way at Dragon Con, I literally just kind of watched folks. It's like, wow, you guys are freaking amazing. I had an opportunity to take a picture with Hugo and Cosplay Shinobi. Who else did I take pictures with?
Meet Hugo.
And he's such a cool guy.
We were so close to meeting the New York Comic Con a couple years back, and we missed each other. I don't know how we missed him, because he was like, "Yo, I'm here, mate," and I'm like, "Dude, we gotta," and we missed each other. And then he recently did this Kang, and we did the whole council.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, we had so much fun with that.
That was a nice Kang.
I think Dragon Con is like a smorgasbord of Vlad. Have you ever been to Dragon Con?
No, it's on my list.
It's the smorgasbord of cosplay land. If you like T'Challa said, if you ever want the full experience of what it means to be a cosplayer or the cosplay experience, you will do yourself a disservice not going to Dragon Con. Once in your lifetime, as a cosplayer, I recommend that to anyone across the board. If you cosplay, you have to at least make one trip to Dragon Con.
Oh, definitely. I have to bring my flag there for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Trust me.
It's just such an amazing time and just good energy, man. Just all the way around. That's what I can say. And I haven't been to any of the other cons, and I think, I don't know how old you are, Smoke, but I'm on that other end of 40, pushing 50.
Well, I'm beyond that. That. So I'll say this much: the last time I went to Dragon Con, the first time was in 2010, and then the second time 2012, and then that was the last time I was there. But I had the experience. I would say, like, for someone, if you were to ever, like, for any so for cosplayers like in our age range, I would say hit the big three, which is Dragon Con, New York Comic Con, or San Diego Comic Con. Right. So those would, depending on where you're from or where area you're out of, that's anyone across the board. If you can go to any of the three, those are the three I recommend in the cosplay realm as a cosplayer. Or if you're one of those cosplayers like myself that's up there, you want to be able to, like, because there are more frequent Comic Cons. They're going every weekend now. There was a time where once on a blue moon. Now it's every weekend. So if you're lucky enough to, me personally, while I love New York Comic Con, I like it when it's more personal, where you have those cons that are smaller, where like you get the experience of what it means to be at a big con, but then you can experience the smaller, I won't say mom and pop cons, but the cons that are like independent cons.
It doesn't get overwhelmed.
Right, you get really overwhelmed, and when people see your cosplay and you're going to a smaller show, it affects you in a lot of ways, especially when you hit when the kids see you as that set character. That to me, when they want to just take the time to get a picture with you, it speaks in volumes. And I know once you experience that, like you said, you got hooked. Yeah. Once you experience that and you get that high rush when kids are looking at you as a superhero, they're not looking at the color of your skin. No. They're not looking at anything else, but you're in that costume.
Yeah.
You're like, right now, you're dressed like Superboy. To me, you're cosplaying right now. Yeah. You're Superboy. So a kid sees that, you're just walking in, and they're like, oh my God, it's Superboy. Oh, can I get a picture with you? Even some adults will like, hey, can I get a picture with you? Because you look like Superboy.
Yeah, you don't walk the con with a T-shirt saying Superboy. You act like Superboy. You are Superboy. That is so important, because there's a lot of cosplayers that forget about that, and this is the worst thing for kids, because they will get home and get disappointed, and they won't go to any other cons or even parties or event. So this is something that I don't want to shout at anyone or say any names, but this is something really important. We have to stick to that character. We have to embody it, and then you give all. I don't care if you see 5 Supermen in the con, but if you have to be one of them, you have to be Superman. You have to be Superboy. Yeah, exactly.
Can't be smoking a cigarette, like Superman in front, and I've seen that happen. We're drinking alcohol as Superman, unless you're cosplaying the Superman 3, and you're like doing the part where you're Dark Superman, and who would you, if you had an idea, who would you love to collab with in the cosplay realm?
I mean, there are so many people. Besides you two great cosplayers. I mean, you mentioned Hellspawn. I think he's amazing. You know, like he is my He-Man. I mean, there can be no other He-Man after him. You know what I mean? Again, like a Yugo in cosplay, a cosplay Shinobi. I like Swaggy Cosplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swaggy's he's got his own thing, man. I just love his creativity. You know?
He's the only one who really used the foam in a way and then mix and match characters. And he's clean. He's really neat.
Like, you know, I seen him with one earlier today. He did Static, you know, and he had the little chains kind of.
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah,
man, that's just crazy. You know, just the creativity. You know. Gussie J, I think he's in Canada too. I don't know exactly where in Canada he is.
I think he's in Toronto.
He's actually one of the cosplayers that I met in 2019, and we took a picture. He was in Black Panther, and I was in Killmonger or Golden Jaguar. And so I always remember that. You know, such a cool guy. Goodness gracious, it's just so many folks. I can't think of all of the names. It's so many people that I follow that I really love and I really enjoy. I would love to collab with anybody. Heroes for Hire cosplay. His costume. I love his cable. His cable is ridiculous.
I just did a photo, got some photos with him as Optimus Prime. We just posted a picture, me and him as Cable and me as Optimus Prime, and the Fan Expo. In fact, he and I are looking to collaborate very soon. We just talked the other day, so yeah, he's a great guy.
He's phenomenal. I mean, it's just so many. I can't even pull all their names right now.
Well, you actually named a lot that, for myself, I would definitely say yes right now. If I can travel to Alspon is what? He's not in Philadelphia.
No, he's in DC.
He's in DC, so I would go.
He's like, for me, he's only a couple hours away. He's been down over here a couple times with me. He's teamed
so
up.
these are the cosplayers that I think for not a community, but for Afro-American cosplayers, they got to a level that, like you, Smoke, that you want to really collab, because not they will help you, but they will give you the best tip and help to growth. For growth in cosplay, this is them. Depending if it's foam, if it's electronics, because I've seen Alspon using electronics. There's so many skills, and these people are really talented. So yeah, you could name more, but I think these ones are really what would be the best of them.
Yeah, there's so many of them. Goodness gracious.
T'Challa Monger, it was a pleasure having you. Honestly, keep growing, keep doing what you're doing, because we need more cosplay like you. I'm not saying about the muscles, but that energy that you're showing, that positivity that you have, and honestly, man, you're repping every cosplay I'm looking at. Yo, keep going, keep doing it. And honestly, I can't wait to meet you and take any photos that you want, collab with you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'm still starstruck. So, I appreciate meeting both of you guys and having the opportunity to fellowship with you guys tonight. This has been really exciting and amazing. And wow. That's all I can say is wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Peace and blessings.
So the Mr. Smoke, you and I will talk for future event, for future projects. So thank you for being in the show. You're
Always,
the
man.
best. You're the best in what we could say DC superheroes, and then I cannot wait to have my collab with you, bro.
Oh, you know that's gonna be monumental. You know, people are gonna be talking about that in the age for the ages, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
They're gonna be like, oh my god. So,
yeah. So yeah. For everyone watching, don't forget, hit like button, subscribe, comment, replica cosplay. Wallace out.